probably don't need to be an employee or a leader very long in healthcare or any organization to know that there is variation in how people behave, perform, and contribute. So think about it this way. If you were to take all your employees, let's say you're a leader with 30 employees, and you were to take those employees, and I know this is kind of subjective, but stay with me here, and you were to take those employees and assign a number to each of them on a scale of 1 to 100, and that number would be in 3 categories. So one number would be related to their behavior on a scale of 1 to 100. One number would be on how they perform their job tasks on a scale of 1 to 100. And one would be how they contribute to the department or things in your organization getting better. So how do they contribute to things getting better? And so if you could give everybody a number from 1 to 100, so I've got my number for behavior, performance, contribution, and I add those up and I get a total number. And let's say you came up with a total number like that for all 30 of your employees, right? That number wouldn't be the same, right? In each of those categories, and then in total, you're going to come up with different numbers. And those different numbers are what we would define as variation. And then let's say you took that total number for all 30 people and you lined people up from the lowest to the highest. Now, ideally, like optimally, what we would love is that there's very low variation, meaning from the lowest to highest number, there isn't a wide range, and that they're all on that higher end, right? So that would be ideal. So if you look at the image that says move the core, what I want you to see in that image is that in many organizations, especially if they don't have effective systems for being able to continually elevate the behavior, performance, contributions of every individual, and therefore the group of individuals, if we don't have systems for that, and processes for that, and leaders don't know what to do for that, we're going to have wide variation. So meaning that all those numbers that you have, let's say that, the maximum is 300. If I got 100 on behavior, 100 performance, 100 on contributions, the maximum number, my highest behaving, performing, contributing people are going to be 300. Probably nobody's perfect in all of them, right? But let's say the highest number is 300 and the lowest number could be 0, 0, and 0. God help us if you have any people like that on your team, right? But let's say that range is huge, right? From the lowest to the highest, right? And that is that curve, that is that longer, wider curve in that image, and that's showing more variation. And what you'll see in the difference of what is optimal, meaning there's low variation from the lowest to the highest, there's not much of a range. And also if they're all at the higher end, right? So we want low variation, but we want it at that higher end of behavior and performance and contribution, high numbers. And when it's there, you can see that the average behavior, performance, contribution is much higher than the average when there's wide variation in how people behave, perform, and contribute. So the moving the core, the concept here is to elevate the average, the core, and keep moving it up and up and up. And how you do that is you move everybody up and up and up. But in particular, how we make sure that this is not becoming a change barrier in particular is that when we have that lowest level of behavior, performance, and contribution, this part of the variation, that curve, this is the part that can truly interfere with change initiatives. And so if we don't know how to move that part of the variation up and up, we should be moving everybody up all the time, right? That's what leaders do. We elevate people, we elevate systems, processes, we elevate results. And to move that up, in particular with this lowest level of behavior, performance, and contribution is very challenging. And a lot of leaders, a lot of entire organizations of leaders don't know how to effectively address and deal with that level of behavior, performance, and contribution. So that level is not eliminated or brought up in your organization. And so it can weigh down your change initiatives. It can interfere with your change initiatives.